Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Tyler and Coach Donahue Show, where we cover everything on the court with the Chuckey-Doak Lady Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Coach Donahue. Coach, how's it been?
Good, man. Good. It's been a while.
It's been quite a while. Been close to a month.
It's
It's
great.
been an exact 4 weeks since we sat down.
All right.
We took off from Christmas week and New Year's week just because it was weird with New Year's and Christmas
Sure.
on a Wednesday. It was
Yep.
hard to schedule around. Last week we got out for snow, so we didn't get to sit down
was
then.
great.
So we're back now. We've got a lot of games to talk about, a few wins to talk about, a few key wins to talk about, going through the Ladies Classic, and then the first part of your schedule in the first part of the new year. So got a lot to talk about,
Sure.
but I'll kind of hand you the mic and let you take the floor, talk about it how you would like. If you'd like to talk about all 7 games, go for it. If not, that's up to you. But start off with the Ladies Classic with Boone, Morristown West, and South Greene.
Yeah, I thought we matched up well with Boone. Obviously, they've got the Flores girl, and she's she's a great player. I thought we did a good job. For the most part, handling her. We got behind early in the first half, came in at halftime, made some adjustments, and made a good push. I think we cut it to maybe 8. Just couldn't finish that push up the hill. We talked about that in the locker room after. We can't get behind early. I thought we were in the game the whole time. It felt like we were playing hard. We're at our best when we play hard and we play together, and I thought we did that in the second half, and it shows. It's a bigger school. What do they play? 4A? Or are they
4A, I think they're 4.
That's what those bigger games are designed to do is stretch you and test you, and I thought we responded pretty well. We ended up playing Morristown West the next morning, so we played at 4 and then 9 a.m.
That's right, yeah. I forgot.
So
you
that
told
was
me
a
you
tough
played at 9
turnaround.
a.m.
Tough turnaround for us and them. It wasn't just us, and I thought they handled adversity a lot better than we did. There comes a point in time, Coach Broyles and I were talking about this, there's a point in time where, you're getting beat, you have to either stop the bleeding and make a comeback, or it just keeps, the bleeding just keeps opening up, and I thought we missed our opportunity, and it opened up, and it got ugly. I thought we didn't handle their pressure very well throughout that game. But, you live and you learn from it, and I thought we learned pretty well. The things that we do well, and the things we need to work on, and that's the key to a season is you're working on your deficiencies and improving what you're good at. And then the South Greene game, obviously they didn't have Hensley. She was out due to an injury from the first game, but I was proud of our girls. We ended up playing. I think we only played 6 that game, so they were kind of exhausted. We had 2 that were out, but it was a good win for our girls, good win for our community, and it's good to allow those girls to feel like, it's not insurmountable to beat South Greene. One of the things that I talked about when we took over is, people have to play us. We're not just bring them in so we can stomp on them. So that's kind of one of the things that we've tried to instill in our mindset is we belong. And I think that was a huge win for us, for our program. I think it was the first time since, 2012?
I think it was 2012 or 2013.
So
I remember I was in middle school whenever.
Oh, wow.
So I don't want to make it sound longer than it needs to be, but
How old are you?
20, going on 26.
So it was a good win. It was good for them to experience that. But one of the things I said, I think in your publication, as well as others, it's great to get that win, but we've got to make sure we focus on winning district games. So that game, although it's great and it's feel good and it's first time in forever, it's actually the first time we won in the Ladies Classic since 2017, I think.
Okay, so it was
2
streaks broken.
So it was a big win for us, but at the end of the day, it's a win. We got to move on and we got to prepare for the conference. What was next? What were the next games?
So moving into the first 4 games of 2025, you had a short little road trip out to Baylorton for North Greene, then a short little road trip out to Rogersville for Cherokee, and then you got here for Cloudland, and then the long road trip up the mountain to Mountain City to play Johnson County. So it's kind of back and forth there.
Yeah.
Lost to North Greene, win over Cherokee, lost to Cloudland, win over Johnson County. Take me through that 4-game stretch.
Yeah, North Greene was here.
Okay, that is
so
right.
we really focused on good help side defense on Miller. Obviously, she can get you down in the post, and she's a great player. Got good fundamental footwork. And when they get it to her low, it's pretty much going in. So we had to make sure we did that. We did a good job. I think we held her to 3 points. But they're role players. Everybody else around her, not role players. Their players around her really stepped up and made some shots. And when they get hot, they're hot from 3. And that, unfortunately for us, I didn't make the adjustment soon enough, and it's on me. And we've worked on different things to correct that. And it was a tough game. Anytime you get county game with nothing else going on, it's going to be a good night in the gym. So. Unfortunately for us, we took the loss on that one, and then we went to Cherokee. They're a good young team. They're kind of, I talked with Coach Lawson, they're up and down, they're fluctuating, but they play hard. And I thought we played hard and matched that intensity that night, and came out with a win. And it was a good win on the road. And then we played the next night against Cloud, and it looked like a lot of our energy, a lot of our get up and go was not there that night. It was a frustrating night. It seemed like everything we did was a step slow. What they did was a step fast. And credit to Cloudland, they're a good team. They've year in and year out just reloaded. I think they went to state last year and lost their 2 best players. And they put it on us. We left with our tail between our legs, and that's basketball. I thought we played hard. We did a little exercise after that. We didn't play super smart. Second half, I think we went into the second half down 15. We came back out, and I think we ended up losing by 15 or 17. I can't remember the score, but we went back and watched the film of the night before and that game, and just our defensive intensity looked worlds different between the two. And in the second half, we calculated out empty possessions. And it was a hefty number. So for us, we have to correct those 2 things. We have to get possessions where we score, work the ball in and score, and we also have to have defensive intensity. When we let people dictate on us, usually that does not bode well for us. So when we're at our best, we're dictating and we're making people do things that they don't necessarily want to do. And when we're at our best, we handle the basketball, minimal turnovers, as if any basketball team. But we've got to do a better job of making sure, especially in crunch time, that we get valuable buckets and make sure the minutes count and possessions count. And then what was the last game?
Johnson County. I guess maybe the most important one, of course, because it's the only conference game we've talked about. It's the longest road trip you've taken the conference. You could argue that maybe it's the most important because of that, because it's the longest road trip, and that can wear on you, a lot of fatigue. Don't know if your mind's right after a 2-hour bus ride, and you get up there and you pick up a big 17-point win, which in hindsight we'll talk about after the game was a big win because of something else that happened within the conference that night.
Sure, yeah, well, we started out that morning with their AD calling us about 8:30 saying, we don't know if we can get the parking lot cleaned off, so can we play at your place? We had wrestling here, so we couldn't play here.
Middle school? Was it booked too?
I don't know. We didn't check. So we ended up saying that we're coming. So we ended up, obviously that's flustering, but we ended up going up there, and like you mentioned, it's a long road trip. It's about an hour and a half, hour 45 to get up there in a bus. You've got snow all over the place on the way up there. We ended up stopping at the Hamptons and McDonald's. Got to give a shout out to the Hamptons and McDonald's. They give coaches and bus drivers free food.
Awesome.
That was awesome. Thank you to them. I knew we were about to win after that. I knew that the night would be ours. But anyway.
What was your McDonald's order?
I just got a McChicken and some fries, I think.
Can't go wrong with a McChicken.
With some extra lettuce.
I go with extra mayo sometimes.
Okay, all right.
I get enough lettuce whenever I get a Big Mac.
One time I saw a lady, I like mayonnaise. My dad loves mayonnaise. Shout out to my dad. He likes Duke's mayonnaise. If you like any mayonnaise, you better like Duke's, because if you go to Pal's, Duke's mayonnaise.
Gotcha.
There you
okay.
go.
I never knew.
There you go. Not many people do. But one time I went to McDonald's and a lady had so much mayonnaise it was dripping off and she was licking it. So it just give me the normal mayonnaise. It was disgusting.
Or just give me a packet. I'll put it on myself.
That wasn't the last trip, so thank goodness I didn't get sick. But anyway, it's a long trip up there. It's a pretty trip up around.
It is a pretty trip,
around
yeah.
the lake and all that, and it's with the snow still on the ground. I mean, there was snow everywhere. I almost brought my boogie board that Tegan and I sled on, so we can.
Did you get to do that this past week?
We did.
Okay,
Tegan
cool.
is a big fan of sledding down. We live on a little bit of a hill. So Tegan's a big fan, and so we go out. Mama comes out and takes our picture, but we have a good time. We got to our neighbor's driveway. And it's the first time we've ever done it with her on her back. She was pumped, but it was snow days are fun. Fun
absolutely,
for us, especially
always.
with a little 7-year-old. Tegan enjoys snow, and so we go out and snow angel. We wrote our names in the yard.
Did you make a snowman?
We did not make a snowman.
Okay.
We did not make a snowman. We went out back in our backyard and we walked out our names. So, but anyway, back to basketball. While you people join in. Speaking of joining in, why don't you join in with Terry's Flooring and get some new flooring this year, right? New year, new floor. Check them out, terrysflooring.net. Thank you for sponsoring the show, Terry's Flooring. Yeah, it was a great opportunity for us to go up there and solidify kind of where we sit in the conference. It's really early. We've only played 3 games. Max Prep said we played 4 because they counted the South Greene one at the Ladies Classic. So I think they put it in, but I went in and changed it. So
Still 2-1.
Still 2-1. But it was a great opportunity for us. And anytime you play on the road, especially in conference, especially late in the year, you have to bring your own energy. And I thought our group did that. We got prepared. We had a good game plan. We've been working some new stuff. And I thought we really went and attacked them to start the game. Something that previously people do to us. I think at the end of the first quarter we had 24. I think it was 24-11. So we jumped out and started fast, and that helped fuel us. But I thought we played under control. I thought we set the pace of the game. We kind of controlled, and it really didn't feel like it was in doubt. We ended up getting our subs in quite early, so they got some run and got to play. And they made a little run at the end, so it kind of cut the score down, and that's okay. But I thought it was a good win for us, especially with all the adversity. You know, anytime you play on the road in conference, you're going to have adversity. Usually the janitors are the referees. You know, you have to get on that yellow bird. And although Mr. Thompson, shout out Mr. Thompson, Greene County Schools, we've got a nice bus out there. It was very comfortable. Chase Murray drove us up. Nice. But anytime you have to take a trip, it's frustrating because you have to get everything, make sure you remember everything. Don't forget your socks. Don't forget your shoes, which has happened. I'm sure you've seen it happen too. There's always something, some adversity. Then you go up there, you check out their popcorn to start with.
Was it good?
It was okay.
I've not been to Johnson County for a basketball game ever. So
it was okay.
I don't know about the popcorn.
A little expensive for the size, but hey, they're on the meter. It'll be all right. The girls make fun of me every time we go somewhere.
You gotta get the popcorn.
Cherokee
Wayne Phillips
popcorn,
always makes fun of me for it too.
Cherokee popcorn is delicious.
See?
And they have the seasoning sitting out so you can put more on if you want.
Granger does that too now.
Good job, Granger.
Went to Granger last week, so they had it sitting out, and they had it in one of those styrofoam bowls. So there was a lot of seasoning out there. So
let's go.
You could get as much as you want.
We may schedule them just to get some popcorn.
Just to get the popcorn. I know one place that has good popcorn too. Unicoi County.
Probably not Terry's Flooring, but they have good floors.
They do.
Unicoi County. That will be potentially where our district tournament is. So we'll see.
You're right. It is.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see, Unicoi. We're coming for you. Coming to see your popcorn.
Hey, it's good too. It's in a little cardboard box too that says popcorn, so they make it a little more fancy, and just a little wider brown bags.
Okay. I like it.
It's up
I
there.
can respect the hustle.
It might be one,
but we'll see. Hey, we'll see, pal. When the football team worked our concession stand the other night, it was pretty good. I think Clouton.
I'm drawing a blank. There's a place I went. Oh, I don't know how I forgot. It was Unaka. Unaka had the most seasoning I've ever seen on popcorn.
Okay.
In my life.
Their
So if you
their
go to
angle
Unaka,
is more drinks.
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
By the time you're done, your tongue and lips will tingle a little
I do
bit,
remember that
so.
from last year. I had
Yes.
sometimes I bring some chapstick with me just in case.
Smart man.
Because I don't want to be standing over there
Smart
with
man.
super red chapped lips. Yeah, that's a professional move.
Like
right
that character on Monsters Inc. after he got the
Oh, yeah.
color sucked out of him.
That's a professional popcorn eater move right there. But anyway, but I thought we played really, really well. Getting back to the game, while you all are here.
We hope you're still here.
Yeah, we hope you're still here. And if you like popcorn, I got plenty of suggestions. But we moved the ball well. We played well together. Obviously, there's always going to be things. If you look back at the game, you think, oh, we can fix this and that, and whatever. But I thought we played pretty well overall. And, came away with a win.
We have to talk about what else happened in the conference that night, too.
What else happened in the conference?
You had West Greene upsetting South Greene for the
What?
first time in 20 years, and that allowed you to move up to a tie for the number one spot in the conference at the moment.
Sure.
Right now, I believe it is you all, it is South Greene, it is West Greene, and I believe Hampton all at the top, if I'm correct.
You're right.
I think every team is 2-1, so you've got 4 teams up there at the number one spot, and I've asked this question to basically every coach within the District 1-2A conference, boys and girls. We're only 3 games in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of basketball left to be played, but 3 games in so far. You've made it 1 game through your conference slate here in the year of 2025. How do you like the way you're sitting right now at 2-1, tied for first in the way your team's playing?
Well, obviously, you like it.
Yeah.
You'd like it to be 0 on the loss column. But all those teams control their destiny. And the thing about basketball, you can get caught up in any sport. You can get caught up, as Nick Saban says, in the rat poison. You can get caught up in, we can win the district. We can whatever down the road. If we do this, then ifs and wins and all that. But at the end of the day, we've got to focus on 1 game at a time, 1 opponent at a time. I think we only have like 4 or 5 weeks left in the season.
Yeah, Coach Broyles was telling me last week that after this week, there's only like 10 games left.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's insane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 weeks left in basketball. So, we've got a good group of girls, and they really get along and they really play for each other. And that's, when that happens, you don't want to see the season end. You want to see it prolong. And one of those ways is to not look ahead. But, we've got to make sure we focus on what we do each and every day. We can't be looking ahead at South Greene or Hampton or West Greene or Johnson County or Happy Valley. See what we did there?
You got all of them in
You
there.
don't call anybody out on this show. Don't give them bulletin board material. But we've got to make sure we focus on what we're doing daily. We've got to keep getting better in practice daily so that we can get better in games. And at the end of the year, who knows what will happen. But basketball is such a finicky thing. You can miss a couple shots a night that you normally make, and then you lose to a team you're not supposed to lose to. So it's as a coach, you want to look ahead. You want to prepare for, all right, here's what we could do. But at the end of the day, we've got to make sure, and I have to start that, to be focused on the here and now, each and every day at a time, and play the games as they come. Because at the end of the day, if you go out and lose to, this week we've got West Greene. We've got West Greene, then South Greene, then Hampton. You go out and lose 2 of those 3, then you don't even have to worry about talking about the first in the conference. You're just worried about getting to the 3 seed so you can play the 6. So, I mean, it's one of those things. It's exciting, but at the end of the day, we've got to focus on us and controlling what we can control, and that is how we play in our effort, intensity, and our passion. And, let the chips fall where they may.
Got some big games coming up, as you just mentioned. You just alluded to it, West Greene, South Greene, and Hampton. We'll talk about 2 of them, of course, with the 2 county games back-to-back with the Lady Buffaloes and the Lady Rebels. Before we do that, though, of course, we got to do one thing always. We've got to get a word from our sponsors in first. So we'll be right back after this short break to talk about those games here on Grassroots Media.
Bayleton Drug Company services the surrounding communities of Bayleton with excellent patient care using a full-line pharmacy, over-the-counter selections, and a convenient drive-thru. When you visit us, you are treated as a neighbor, not a number. It's not just our slogan, but our culture. We're investing in our patients, local schools, and community. For over 5 years now, we have established ourselves as an independently family-run pharmacy that isn't driven by corporate goals. We are driven by what is best for your overall health and wellness. We're conveniently located so you don't have to make the drive. Prescription drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. We also offer natural remedies, essential oils, at-home medical needs such as walkers, rollators, bath accessories, as well as wound care products. And coming soon, basic urgent care services. What makes us better than other drugstores out there? When you frequent Bayleton Drug, you will receive professional, courteous, and friendly service that goes above and beyond any other pharmacy in the area. Remember, you're a neighbor, not a number.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Kyle Donahue Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the Chuckey-Doak Lady Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Kyle Donahue. I didn't do your intro this week.
No worries.
It's been a few weeks, so
it's all right.
I was a little rusty at the beginning.
Sometimes I don't even want all of them.
That's all right. I'll continue back with it next week.
All right.
Continuing back with the basketball talk, though, you've got two very important conference games that we'll talk about. Very important stretch of your schedule right here, like you talked about before the break, where you've got West Greene, South Greene, and Hampton back to back to back. We'll talk about the two county games, and we'll sit down and recap those next week before we preview Hampton. But you got the Lady Buffaloes on the road on Friday. I guess the night that this comes out.
This comes out tonight?
It'll come out. Yes, it will. And then South Greene here at home on Tuesday. So two very important games. Take me through what you expect, what you're preparing for in both games.
Obviously, you expect a battle in both games. Like we said, anytime you play a county game, it's going to come down to who does what they do best and who mitigates kind of the mistakes the best. West Greene, obviously, Shipley's playing really well. Shipley and Brown are playing really well. I think Brown, just watching her play, I like the way she plays. She's the unquestioned leader of that group, and she really brings energy. I told the girls the other day, both of those two play big and big-time games. So we can expect that, and it's at their place. Anytime you play on their turf, you expect some adversity. You expect them to shoot a lot better. So it's going to be a battle down there, and I think we match up well with them. It'll be about who can do what they need to do best to win that game, and I expect it to be a good game. Is that going to be on Grassroots?
Should be.
All right.
Probably both.
All
With the South
right.
Greene game on Tuesday also.
Check us out on Grassroots on Facebook. They've got some shooters to go with those girls, and they can light it up if they get hot. So we got to make sure we limit certain touches and make sure we find shooters. Obviously, we can't just let open threes happen, and we got to play well. That's the biggest thing. You got to play well.
Absolutely.
So, and then shifting to South Greene, I've not looked at them much after we've played them. One of the things I try and do is really, really focus on what we're doing in the moment, like I said, and focus on who our next opponent's going to be. We try not to scout out too far ahead because you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, South Greene not winning right now. I think they're playing pretty well. They played us really well over there at the Ladies Classic. But anytime you got South Greene coming into your gym, for us it's always been kind of a mental thing. Hopefully that's exercised. But it's going to be a good matchup, I think. They do things that hurt us. We do some things that hurt them. And it's about making sure we do more that hurts them than they hurt us. And on a Tuesday night, it's going to be packed in here. Friday night, West Greene High School. Should be a great gate money. Yeah. You're welcome, guys. It should be a good gate. And then Tuesday night should be a good gate here. And these are the games that you get excited for. Not saying you don't get excited for all the games, but everybody's a little bit more on edge a little bit, and the community's a buzz. So it's good to have those games, and we're excited about playing them. We just have to make sure that we focus on what we do best and not get wrapped up in all the things, get wrapped up in the pageantry and the stands. At the end of the day, it's the 5 people on the court playing the other 5 people on the court, and we've got to be better if we want to win it.
I think that's all the basketball talk we've got.
Sweet.
We had a lot in the first half, though.
Yeah.
We had a whole lot. Shifting from basketball to football, we have not sat down since we filled out your official 12
Did you write those down? Because I don't even remember.
I didn't write them down,
okay.
And I'm glad I didn't write them down because everybody's got blown out of the water.
But I said Notre Dame
in the championship.
Would not.
If
no,
we
I
did do,
I didn't say them. I think I said
you said Oregon to win it.
Yeah,
but you did say Notre Dame in the championship.
Did I really?
Yes, so
let's go. Shout out Travis Mervin. You're welcome.
If we went back and did a point system, you might get the highest amount just because
let's go.
You might be the only one that has a team in the championship. I think everybody except you. I think one other had Notre Dame beating Georgia. Not many people. I don't.
It's a good pick.
A single person had Ohio State going.
It's a good pick.
To even
with Carson Beck, he's going to Miami.
Crazy. Now Florida State can beat him next year.
Yeah, now we can beat him next year. But Arizona State, I picked them to win. Come on, guys.
They got close.
Come on,
They
man.
did get close.
Scataboo.
Oregon, I don't know about them, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened that game.
Told my brother-in-law, Ben, it's one of those years. To me, that game looked like Florida State when they went to play in the Rose Bowl against, it was the first year of the playoffs. They went to play against Oregon.
Undefeated,
I was in the middle of the ocean, the Atlantic
Ocean. Were you
Ocean.
on a cruise?
We were on a cruise. They had the biggest television you've ever seen in your life on the deck of that cruise. And I was pumped because we had just come off winning the national championship. So here we go again. We're back in the playoff. And they got absolutely steamrolled, and that ruined the rest of that night. Everybody around is high-fiving on the deck, and I'm just standing there by myself in one of the pool chairs. It's not a fun night, but it happened to Oregon. So what goes around comes around, Oregon. But anyway.
It seems like it happens to Oregon a lot, though. Not that situation
True.
Where they're undefeated.
Big games,
big games. I don't know what it is about Oregon. You go back to the Auburn National Championship, the Ohio State National Championship that same year.
Yeah.
You go back
I think
a few weeks ago to this year. I mean,
sorry.
It just
Sorry,
seems like
everybody.
every
It's been a
time they
long
get
week.
into a championship game or have a undefeated season, they always choke in their biggest game.
Yeah. Oregon.
I don't necessarily dislike Oregon. I like
Dan
Oregon.
Lanning.
I like Dan Lanning.
I'm not a huge Oregon fan. I don't necessarily like them, but I do like Dan Lanning.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't dislike them. I'll say that. I don't dislike Oregon.
I called the Franklins, the Fighting Franklins. I called them losing.
Yeah, they almost won though. That's crazy.
Who'd they lose to?
Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. If Drew Allard doesn't throw over the middle like that, being rushed, you could be talking about Penn State.
In one of my football
Ohio State.
coaches' coaching chats, you think he threw those last two out of bounds because he didn't like his coach?
I don't think of that, so I don't know. He did throw the first one he threw. I was like, okay.
The last two passes he had weren't even in the field of play. That's something. It's just a little conspiracy.
He's
theory.
coming back though.
He is coming back. Maybe he was
That whole team's coming back apparently, except Abdul Carter, I think. But
I'm not
you've
worried
got
about them.
both running backs coming back.
Yeah,
So
Florida State's coming back too. Let's go Noles. But it's been fun to watch. I think we're going to have to get our minds around the best team may not be the national champion.
yeah,
And or the team that's won the most, or the most deserving, whatever Kirk Herbstreit says. Forget that guy. I hope he doesn't see this show.
I hope he does. I don't like him either.
But it's gonna take a little bit of luck, right? Somebody else has to beat other people. Takes a little bit of luck. Takes a little bit of talent. But at the end of the day, you're going to get a national champion that's earned it.
It's hard in sports to get a true national champion because it's like college basketball. You have to win 6 straight games
Yeah.
to win a championship in college basketball. That is extremely hard to do.
And it may not be the best team.
No.
The last couple of years have been the best team.
The last couple of years it has.
Pretty dang
but
good.
you look back years before, you can't really say that.
One shining moment.
I hope they continue that. It's not going to be the same anymore. The Final Four is not going to have Nance anymore.
Oh, it's not?
No, he retired this past year from the Final Four. I think he's still doing the Masters, though. So if you're a golf fan, I think you still get Nance doing the Masters.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. A tradition unlike any other.
I was watching the NFL playoffs this past week, and they already have started rolling out Masters ads.
They were rolling those out pre-Christmas.
Were
I
they?
saw one, yeah.
Wow.
I was like, dang, it's about to snow. We're talking the Masters. The Azaleas.
NFL playoffs, what do you think?
I thought the Bucs should have won. Dang it.
Oh, yeah, you're a Bucks guy. I don't think Washington will make it too far anyway, though.
No, they won't.
That might be the wackiest game we ever see, though. Washington, I don't know if you saw this
I like
stat.
the Lions.
They did not punt a single time against Tampa.
Hello, I saw it. I
First time in 21 years.
watched it
that's
for
happened.
myself.
And then you've got
And
that
then they won on a stoink.
type of team going up against Dan Campbell, who goes for it on 4th down every time on the opponent's side of the
Here's
field.
the thing about Dan Campbell. I like what he's doing. I like Dan Campbell as a coach. I like Dan Campbell as a culture agent. I like Dan Campbell's philosophy. I was reading into it. He said he goes for 4th down throughout the year more than anybody, so that it's not a shock. And I think they called it a pucker factor. I don't know if we can say that on here. You may have to delete that. But when it's 4th down, he doesn't want them to start season up. Let's say that. He doesn't want them to seize up when the moment happens. So they go for it regularly on 4th down, which is a pretty smart philosophy to do. But he's really changed the Lions around. I'm surprised nobody's tried to pick him off. But
I think their OC's going, though.
Also, I just saw this this morning, that
Steelers?
the UNC Tar Heels
Oh,
and a one
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick still haven't signed a contract, although he has agreed.
That is odd. And he's
That
on
is
recruiting
odd.
visits, too. And
That is odd. I'm throwing it out there. I'm going to go ahead and say Belichick to the Raiders.
Oh, big news. EA Sports has announced College Football 26 will be released this summer. We're getting
That's pretty cool. However, you have to buy a whole new platform. I have Xbox One.
Do they not make it for... That's
No.
right. I had to buy a PlayStation 5
I got so excited. My wife will tell you, I was sad the rest of the night.
that you figured out.
I've waited forever, and I was like, oh, well, it's not an X. How do I get what's Xbox One S? What is that? Or
Xbox One X. Yeah, you got the different ones.
Whatever those are, and I was like, oh, this is me, right? Nope. So I've not played it.
You still not played it?
I've not played it.
I will tell you, it pains me to say this. I played one Dynasty just to play one because
That's
to me,
Florida State.
if you play different dynasties, I feel like it doesn't have the same like feel if you're playing multiple dynasties.
Because you're an adult.
Multiple championships.
Because it's not like you're
so
going,
I gotta play
sitting at
one.
home.
Yeah, I gotta play one with Texas just see if I can win the championship. I lost in the Peach Bowl, Florida State.
Go Noles!
I was mad. Said, of course, the team that goes 3-9 in real life makes it to the championship in a video game. Pretty realistic simulation.
Make this the thumbnail. That's what we need.
Pretty realistic simulation though. Ohio State won in the video games dynasty too.
There you go.
I think they're about to steamroll Notre Dame in the
I don't know.
official championship.
We'll see. We'll see. You got to stop Jeremiah Smith. They do have a pretty good offense.
Yeah, they got a pretty good D line too, as I found out.
They do. They do. So
I saw a
we'll
graphic.
see. When
there
is
were,
that?
Monday night. Yeah.
oh,
Hey,
perfect.
you don't have a
We're
game.
off.
There you go.
Yes.
I saw a graphic. It had 6 goal line stands that Ohio State's been in this year. Guess how many points it resulted in?
3.
7 for Ohio State.
Oh. That last one.
One of the best
Oh,
D
don't even get me
fronts.
started.
Don't
That
get me
was
started. No, I
terrible.
don't want to talk about it. I don't
That
want to
was
talk about it.
terrible. What are they doing?
I've not mentioned it all
What
time
are
that
they
we've
doing,
talked about
Tyler?
football. That's
If you could talk to Steve Sarkisian right now, what are you telling him?
this is a PG show.
What are
I
you telling
can't,
him
I can't
about
say what
the
I tell
goal
him.
line stand where they go side to side and then they run around and fumble it and let them score? Man, it must suck to be a Longhorns fan.
One of the dumbest play calls in the history of the sport of
They're
football.
back
Gotta be,
though. They're back. So says whoever. What does? That's what I would like
What
to do
does
on
back?
the show. Yeah.
What is like?
Ask your other coaches that when they say this team's back. Ask
What
those
does
other
it mean?
coaches.
Yeah, I won't proclaim it.
Florida State's about to be back.
I won't proclaim that they are until they win a championship. Because you could say Miami's back too. But is Miami really back?
Miami is great at talking trash in the summer, winning the transfer portal battle, and losing out on ACC championships. Great job, Miami. We're so proud of you. Miami has not yet. Here's a crazy stat.
Close to a quarter century in the ACC.
Since 2007, all right, 2007, Bobby Bowden has more ACC championships than Miami. 2-0. Look it up. And Bobby Bowden retired in 2009.
And passed away a few years ago.
And passed away a few years ago.
Rest
and
in
he
peace,
has
man.
more.
A legend.
The greatest. And he has more ACC championships than Miami. Send that to a Miami friend that you got.
I don't know any.
I
If
know
I
a
did,
couple.
I'd let him have it.
I know a couple. Send that to them.
Bobby Bowden, where's he on that list of greatest college coaches of all time? You think he's one? Is there a little bias in there?
Number 1. They took some victories away. Number 1, baby.
Is there a little bias in there?
Had there been a playoff
Back then,
in Bobby
oh,
Bowden's
Lord.
era,
If there'd have been a playoff era in the 90s,
you see Florida State win about 3 or 4 more.
what's that record? Most top 5, most consecutive top 5 finishes? So yeah, he'd have been in the playoff every year. It'd have been like Alabama with Saban in the 2010s.
People just don't know.
Playoff.
People just don't know.
Wow.
People just don't know.
I don't like the guy.
Tennessee fans just think it's 98. That was the only year that mattered.
Anytime they go 4-0 to start the season, it feels like
It
98.
always feels like 98 degrees.
Had to expand the playoff to 12 teams to even make it.
Oh, and then got blown out. Oh, it was embarrassing. Sorry, Tennessee fans.
Where's this is the reason I brought this up is you said Bowden number 1, and I looked up Urban Meyer's coaching record last night because it was announced he's being inducted into the
Oh,
College
good for him.
Football Hall of Fame. Yeah, good for him. Fantastic guy if you know him real well. He's just a
Upstanding individual.
yes,
High moral
role
values.
model. Where is he all time? I looked up his coaching percentage. He's an 85% win percentage as a head coach. That might be one of the greatest of all time.
Look
Three-time national champion, But where do you? He didn't coach that long.
I don't know. I don't know where he falls.
Like Joe Paterno, how many
to me-
championships did he win?
I don't even know.
But he had 1,000 wins.
Yeah. To me, Urban Meyer reminds me a lot of Dabo Sweeney. For some reason, I see a lot of similarities, and
In coaching,
yeah.
I was about to say not personally.
No, not personally. Kind of their coaching. Who knows? Bobby Bowden. Let's land this plane.
All right.
If you're still here, we thank you for watching.
I think people
Go
watch.
visit terrysflooring.net.
Yes, I think people watch the end more than they
You
probably
think
do
so?
the basketball.
I may
talk,
need to do something crazy and have.
because they just.
I may need to give away like $15 and somebody say a keyword. If I say a keyword, I will. All right. If you come up to me at the West Greene game, no, I won't have it. I'll forget it. I'm going to be too focused on the game.
Come to him after the game.
I won't have it. I was going to give you a free cactus blossom or fried pickles at the Texas Roadhouse, but I'll forget that. I'm not going to give it to you. Don't be looking at it.
What is it? Fried pickles or cactus
Free blossom or pickles.
I like the rattlesnake bites.
I don't even know what those are.
Pepper jack cheese, breaded,
No, forget
deep
that.
fried.
Forget
You don't
that.
like pepper jack?
I don't like cheese.
What?
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I don't like cheese, and that's the same exact response I get from everyone. I apologize. My bad, everybody. My bad. But if you're not going to the Tejas Roadhouse and you're not getting a cactus blossom, you're missing out. You get double sauce, so you can just dip that thing. You got to dip that thing.
I think I like a bloomin' onion better though.
I agree.
From
It's the
Outback,
seasoning,
yeah.
and then their sauce is a little bit better. But the Texas Roadhouse, we have them in town now. Check them out. But really, if you're going to check out anywhere, go check out Old Oak Tap Room. Right?
Yes.
$1 wings.
I still have
On
not
Mondays.
been, man. I need to put that on.
He's
my
working
list.
on. He's talking about a platter. He's talking about a platter. I don't want to ruin it, but it could involve a burger. Could involve some
Ooh.
fries or tots.
Best burger in town.
Could involve some of the wings.
Best
I'm
burger
telling
in
you,
town, man.
best burger in town
Best
with
burger in
some
town.
wings. Go shout out Coach Murphy, Old Oak Tap
Get a
Room
little bit of
in
tots on the side
Tuscaloosa.
too.
Hey,
Tots are amazing.
I'm telling you.
Gold, crispy, salty.
Anybody else that you want to shout out? Any other friends and family?
Duke basketball. We'll start talking about them.
I've not
later
even
on
watched
soon.
them yet. I'm too focused on
No
what we're
way.
doing.
You've not watched Duke basketball?
I watched them trout some other people, but
Go on YouTube, find their YouTube channel, watch all their highlights from every game this year.
Oh.
I promise it'll be one of your favorite Duke teams you've
Okay.
ever watched.
okay, all right.
We're about halfway through the season now.
Yeah, you got to pick up conference play.
So far,
When they're
just
playing
steamrolling
Charleston
everybody.
Southern State, A&M.
I mean, foot on the gas, not letting
Good.
up. Unless they're up 20 against Notre Dame, then they decide to let up then.
Yeah. Well,
But anyway, they
it
won
is.
the game, so it doesn't matter.
there you go. Check
When
us
you
out.
win, that's all that matters, Coach.
We're excited about Friday. Check us out. Actually, tonight.
Yes, this will
Tonight.
preview a little bit
See you at
before
West
the
Greene
game.
High School. Come early, get a ticket. Hopefully, it's two good games, two good teams, two proud schools, two proud communities.
And if you
Come
do see
together.
us after Friday and over the weekend, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night at home, right here in LA. We've already got the heaters on. It's supposed to be darn
Yes,
cold.
it is supposed to be cold.
The heaters are on already, so make sure you come bundled up.
Come early so you can get a parking spot close to the school, so you don't have to walk too far out to your car.
There you go.
Because that short walk to the car is
It'll freeze you.
cold.
It'll freeze you coming from the hot gym.
It will.
But anyway,
That's all we've got.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank you all
everybody.
for watching this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Kyle Donahue Show. We look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.
Hey, go Black Knights.